readers of Skeptophilia may remember that a while back I did a piece on the indigo children, who are supposed to be the next step in evolution, as evidenced by the fact that they're intuitive, are aware of the paranormal, and have indigo-colored auras. But the problem with woo-woo ideas is that they tend to become passé very quickly, and before you knew it, every family in the neighborhood claimed that their child was an indigo child. So, of course, they couldn't have their own children labeled with something so common and so pedestrian. So they had to up their game a little bit, and they came up with the idea of the crystal children, who you could recognize because they had large eyes and an intense stare, and an ability to function as a group consciousness. So I think we can all agree that these are better than those stupid indigo children, even though to me they sound a little bit like the scary kids in Children of the Corn. But that wasn't enough either. So they had to up the ante again, and this time came up with a doozy. So I introduced to you the sun children. Here's a little bit about the sun children. It has been scientifically proven that the new children, being born since 2007, have been born with 13-stranded DNA, which means they will have far greater abilities than we ever had. So plain old 2-stranded DNA is not enough. I've taught genetics for 30 years, and I never knew about the principle of the more strands, the better. These children are volunteer souls who are now being born to become the new leaders who will be leading the world from 2050 and onwards. By then, the new golden age will have been anchored in by the indigo, crystal, and rainbow children who have been incarnated after World War II. A lot of the indigo, crystal, and rainbow children were cosmic souls from other galaxies and star systems who were involved with the creation of this planet when it was birthed. Well, hell, I miss the rainbow children. I wonder how many strands their DNA had. Probably 9 or so, wouldn't you think, splitting the difference? And hey, I was born after World War II myself. I wonder what kind of child I was. My parents would probably have said a pain in the ass, but maybe that's just because they couldn't see auras. It is of great importance for the parents of these new sun children to understand that what worked for them and their parents will simply not work for these children. Fact is, because of their 13-stranded DNA, they will have all 12 chakras fully activated, which means they have their stellar gateway wide open. This means they are extremely sensitive to light, to sound vibrations, to frequencies, and most of all to the unseen world, which to us is not real, but to them it is. This makes them highly psychic, with abilities that we have forgotten how to use: teleportation, kinesis, whatever that is, telepathy, shape-shifting, moving objects, hearing what is said in other rooms, being able to remote view, and so on. That's a lot of abilities, isn't it? Makes me glad I'm not at the family planning stage of things. My 2 sons, especially as toddlers, did enough damage as it was without being able to teleport, shape-shift, or hurl heavy objects with their minds. I can't imagine what would have happened if they'd actually been able to pick up and throw around furniture. They did enough damage as it was, having 2 personalities that are as different as you can imagine coming from the same gene pool. If they'd been able to do telekinesis, I doubt that there'd been any survivors, and that includes our house. So honestly, I'm a little mystified as how all of these are good things. But about the stellar gateways, she has more to say. This means these children will have to be kept away from electronic devices which are jamming their frequencies. Television sets, computers, mobile phones, etc. They will be fascinated with it, but beware. Some of the members of a certain group of people on this planet know this, are purposefully jamming the frequency waves of children and adults via satellite communication systems, and this is done at such a frequency that we are not even aware that we are being held hostage. This is especially true for video games, PlayStations, etc., for all of it is attempting to deactivate these children so that the planet will not be able to move forward into the new age. Man, it would suck to go through life with jammed frequencies, don't you think? I much prefer having my frequencies all hangy-loosey. Although I have to admit that she's right about television, 99.8% of which is blatantly idiotic content, so I can't argue with her there. However, what television seems to do mostly is deactivate your critical thinking ability, which, if you believe in sun children, probably wasn't all that great to start with. Anyhow, I'll leave you to Google sun children and see what else she has to say. And she has a lot to say, trust me. Most of it in all caps. Me, I'm wondering what the next incarnation will be. Maybe star children. Or, hell, go big or go home, right? Maybe galaxy children. I wonder what they'll be able to do. Or maybe, given the whole frequency thing, hypersonic children. I know, given the high-pitched whine most children seem to emit, that seems to also be able to bore a hole directly into my skull. That one may be the most accurate of all. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up, check out our links, and subscribe. Talk to you later.